Hello, BookTube. As I mentioned in that last video, I spent the morning with the Rhodeses, with Chris and Giselle Rhodes. And we had a wonderful time. We haven't seen each other in a long time and fell right into talking. They came up with a car, so took advantage of the car to go to charity shops and Goodwills. We went to one big Goodwill here in Boston, which was open on Memorial Day, which is great. I checked ahead of time. And my goal was to find a sturdy bookcase. I've been moving things around in this room and in the other rooms of Hyde Cottage here, and I've noticed that I have a couple of rickety bookcases that I don't really trust. So I thought, although I don't need more bookcases, I could at least use bookcases that would replace those. And I found one. Found a really nice, solid, deep bookcase, solidly made. I was able to swap out a rickety one with that. But of course, when you're looking for bookcases at a Goodwill, you find books. And I did. I found a bunch of books. I put back most of them. Oh my God, you should see the way Chris and Giselle shop for books. Oh my God. They have, as I happen to know from having been there, they have comparatively very little space. They have a mountain of books. And yet, oh my God, they pile an armload of books in about 5 seconds. And they did, this time too. They bought 3 times as much as I did. But I got 3 books. The first one I got, I really like. It's an India novel. It's a big, fat India novel. It was very, very famous. But the reason I got it is because I've never seen it in this trade paperback edition. And I love it. It's so much prettier than the trade paperback edition I'm accustomed to seeing. It's Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts, which is just a big, fat novel of his about all aspects of the Bombay underworld. And I read it. I've read it only once. I read it when it was making the rounds, making everybody talk when it first came out, and I loved it. But I've never reread it because I got rid of my hardcover, and the only option for me around was the other trade paperback. I'm sure you know the one I'm talking about, the one that's all gold, just heavy gold all around. It seemed poorly made to me and just boxy. This one is much nicer. So I grabbed it. Then I got this thing, Geraldine Brooks's The Secret Chord. This is her historical novel about King David. And the reason I got it is because, as you know, if you've been doting over my videos the way I insist that you do, I just recently found a copy of God Knows by Joseph Heller. A great novel about King David. And I read this when it first came out. This was a few years ago. Hoping to love it. I love Geraldine Brooks. I was hoping to love this. This came out in 2015, and I deeply love her book, People of the Book. Just thought it was incredible. So I wanted to love this book, but I think I had Joe Heller's book in mind when I was reading it, because I remember going through this the first time and just resisting it on every page. And eventually, when I finished it, just mildly thumbing it down. Didn't hate it, but I called it a failure. I don't think I reviewed it. I don't think I did anything of the kind. And I regret that now. I feel, looking back, I see clearly the chance that I may have been unfair to this book. So I was happy to find it again in a perfect hardcover. I will reread it. And I'll do it defiantly. I'll do it right next to reading God Knows, because I'm in charge of what I think about a book, not some random timing event. And then the last one I got is a biography I've had and given away many, many times. Every time I get a copy, I end up sending it to somebody. It's Jack Beatty's book, The Rascal King, which is his big fat biography of James Michael Curley, the legendary and legendarily corrupt Boston mayor. That's him in the mink coat on the cover. A fantastic biography that I deeply love and have not had for a while. Because the last copy that I got, I think I got a trade paperback last year and gave it away immediately. So we'll see how long this one stays here. But in the meantime, that was my book haul for today. It was The Rascal King, The Secret Chord, and Shantaram in a beautiful trade paperback. That was my haul today while I was spending time with Chris and Giselle, which was wonderful. I noticed, Chris told me when they were here that he had made a comeback video of a kind, a modest kind on BookTube, and that I had missed it. I must have missed it. I didn't know it was there. So I went once they had left, I went back and looked, and sure enough, there it was. And very nice comments too. People welcoming him back, hoping that he stays. I hope so too. I think BookTube is the poorer without them. They're just wonderful, so they ought to stay. But I'll work on them. Don't you worry. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up for now. I did manage to get books on a Bleak and Barren Monday, because that's all it takes is just heading to a charity shop. And I got a nice solid bookcase, a very good edition, something I will use for the rest of my life, which is a great feeling. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up for now. I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.